Matchday 13 in LaLiga. EA Sports brought us the game between Leganes and Sevilla at Butarque. Both sides were coming into this game having lost 2 of their last 3 games in the Spanish top flight, but they were looking to get back to winning ways just before the international break. Obviously, a minute's silence was held ahead of the game in memory of all those who've sadly lost their lives in the terrible floods in the Comunidad de Valencia. The same will be happening obviously all around the country throughout this weekend's group of fixtures. Darko Brasanac was caught offside early doors for Leganes, but Sevilla looked most threatening at the start of the game from corners specifically. Their first one here, Sambi Lakonga helping the ball on for Lucien Agumet, trying to head home at the back post, but it would only lead to the Sevilla midfielder colliding with the post. Leganes coming into this game having won their last home game here, beating Celta by 3-0. Sevilla won their last game on the road, 2-0 away against Espanyol. And it's fair to say the Andalusians were looking a bit more dangerous in the opening exchanges. Kelechi Iheanacho was up next, finding space in behind, trying to play it back across to Isaac Romero, but the danger was well cleared away by Sergio Gonzalez. It was a front 3 of Iheanacho, Romero and Luque Bacchio on the day for the Andalusians. No goal there though. Leganes had come into this game though off the back of a 4-3 defeat away at Montilivi against Girona last weekend. But they would have the first shot on target here. Munir facing his former club in Sevilla, forcing the first big save out of the Sevilla goalkeeper, Álvaro Fernández. Luque Bacchio would try and cause havoc with his first shot on his left foot, but the ball would go just over the crossbar. Dimitrovic on this occasion from another corner would fail to punch the ball away. You see here, Agumet also missing out. Darko Brasanac with the last touch. Miguel de la Fuente was the man in charge of leading the line on the day for the home side, starting ahead of Sebastian Aller, who was returning to the matchday squad. He was amongst the subs. Juan Cruz would try and pick out de la Fuente here. Just went down on the edge of the box under pressure from Quique Salas, but nothing was made really of that half challenge. But again, it was Juan Cruz down the right-hand side, lobbing the ball over the top for Miguel de la Fuente for Leganes' next chance. This one was on target, but Álvaro Fernández able to save it down low, despite it taking a slight deflection off Nemanja Gudel. There were shouts of goal as well towards the end of the half from a free kick from Munir and the fans behind the goal, but it was actually a very well placed shot at the side netting, just the wrong side of the post for former Sevilla winger. He was actually the only change made to the starting 11 by Borja Jimenez to the side that started at Montilivi on matchday 12. Sevilla were doing very well in the first half to win the ball back in midfield and attack in numbers, but the final pass, the final decision was always what was lacking. Here it was Isaac Romero shooting high and wide over the goal. The first yellow card of the game was shown to the Leganes captain Sergio Gonzalez for bringing down Djibril Sow. Images now though of the second half, and there was a very bad accident really on Enrique Franquesa. Carmona wins the ball clearly here, but I guess actually trips over his own leg really and loses his footing and went down holding his left knee. He would actually carry on playing, but it would have later repercussions in the half. Sevilla looking to be dangerous in the second half the same way they were in the first from a corner. But this header from Sambi Lokonga would only lead to another corner from the other corner flag. Bonir would then play the cross in here, and it was just met by Darko Brasanac. Shot though going wide of the goal. Leganes quietly growing in confidence in the second half, and yet looking for a clear chance. It was Miguel de la Fuente forcing the next shot on target, but a fairly simple save for Álvaro Fernández. Sevilla coming into this one off the back of a 2-0 home defeat against Real Sociedad last time out. Very flat performance from them. It was Luque Bacchio again who was trying to bring a certain spark going forward for Sevilla, but his shot would go high and wide. It was that sort of game really for the Andalusians in Butarque. We saw earlier Enric Franquesa suffering that knee injury. Well, he was continuously challenging with Luque Bacchio, and here Luque Bacchio was able to get the shot away ultimately, just colliding with Tapia when he lets fly. But that really was an individual duel to keep on following. As we see here, the next move, Luque Bacchio tries to just hold off the left back, and Franquesa loses his footing and goes to ground. This would actually lead to the Leganes left back needing to be replaced again, clutching that left knee, which he had injured apparently earlier on in the half. No foul from Luque Bacchio as he was just trying to stand his ground, but it's an awkward landing for Franquesa. He needed to be replaced by Javi Hernandez. It was again Luque Bacchio trying to get involved in any potential threat going forward for Sevilla. Here he would lob the ball over the top for Sambi Lokonga, but the former Arsenal midfielder was unable to bring the ball under control at the right moment in an attempt to beat Marko Dimitrovic from close range. Iheanacho was still looking for his first goal in LaLiga. EA Sports almost got an assist, but Luque Bacchio on his weaker right foot could not hit the target. Luque Bacchio would actually end the game being named MVP of the match, despite the eventual outcome of the game. Jesus Navas was then brought on for yet another appearance for Sevilla as he edges towards his retirement at the end of the month of December. Many Sevilla travelling fans applauding the Sevilla captain, but also the Leganes faithful as well. Later on in the half, Renato Tapia had to be replaced by Oscar Rodriguez, coming on to face his former side. Juan Cruz also came off for Chico. Javi Hernandez was next up to hit the side netting. He was picked out very nicely with a through ball. Agumet losing out there to Miguel de la Fuente. Javi Hernandez just failing to ask any question out of Álvaro Fernández there at his front post. Now the real moment of madness came here with 10 minutes left to play. Lucien Agumet under light pressure from Seydouba Cissé, and the Sevilla midfielder, clumsily really, ends up just completely bringing down Cissé in the box, and a penalty was given. Not only that, it was a red card for the Sevilla midfielder, as it was clearly no intent of playing the ball. Just a rugby tackle really to the ground, very clumsy. And a game that seemed like it was going to end in a 0-0 draw would not end that way, as the penalty was converted by Miguel de la Fuente, his first goal of the season. And you can see how much it meant to him as well. He mentioned pitchside at the end of the game. He was waiting all season to score just so he could celebrate like that, as he is set to become a father in the near future. But for him, a very well taken penalty, and ultimately it would turn out to be the match winner. It didn't look like there was going to be any late goals, but Agumet costing his side dearly in the final 10 minutes of proceedings. Nemanja Gudel was then shown a yellow card in the final minutes of the game for this challenge on his former teammate Munir. Another foul be given as well here, as Adrián Pedrosa. But again, catch Munir. No love lost from the Sevilla players towards their former teammate. Oscar Rodriguez tried to catch out the Sevilla goalkeeper with an awkward free kick. He would just go over the crossbar. This coming towards the final seconds of the game. Leganes looking to close in on their third victory of the season. All three wins at home, but more importantly for them, it would be back-to-back victories at Butarque. There's a late offside call here against Luque Bacchio in this late attempt to try and get an equaliser. But ultimately the final score at Butarque was Leganes 1, Sevilla 0.